Hello, everybody, and welcome to your favorite show about shows. It's The Antenna with Spittin' Speeds, Dane Martinez.
What's going on, Nando?
I'm Nando, DiFino. This is our show about shows, the Survivor Edition. Notes before we dive in, 7oracles.com. That's where you can find all of our stuff. The7oracles.com, the7oracles.beehive.com. We'll get you the newsletter. YouTube.com/@the7oracles. We'll get you all of the videos, which are probably, if you're listening, awesome. If you're watching, give us a like. And so hold on, there's a like and subscribe button. Watch this. Bing.
Hey.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Anyway, we're
welcome.
hooking people up, Nando. Honestly, I mean, people are making cash hand over foot on our kind of profitable prophecies, on our shorts. Shout out to Coach Gene on our live stream about the NFL draft. But it's really everything. I mean, everything from the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding. Who's going to be on the next James Bond? Who's going to be on Drake's album? Political stuff in the cabinet. There is really no bounds. The way that Kalshi has completely blown open this kind of world, that's what we are here for. Come join us in the Prediction Illuminati.
Let's jump into what happened last night. Spoilers ahead if you haven't watched. Dana, we're going to do the MVP. We're going to do the LVP.
Yeah.
Poor Cirie is just sinking in the Kalshi odds. And Kalshi is a truth teller. But there's so many. I don't know how these people are getting all these spoilers. I mean, I've read all the boards. I'm deep on Reddit. But Cirie sinking as a possible winner is disheartening to me. Not just because we have Cirie stock. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. The MrBeast twist, I thought, and I told you, I texted you, I'll save you 30 minutes and just tell you what it is, and you can fast forward through this part because they just drew it out so unnecessarily long. But this is my theme that I took away. Let me know if I'm wrong. I have done a complete and total 180 on Mr. Rick Devens. I am and I know he's gone soon. He's got to be, he's just not playing. It's just not good for him. But holy crap, man! Just as a TV show, and I'm sick. I'm so sick of Christian, the Jimmy Fallon thing, him crying about wanting to be part of it yesterday. Yeah. Go away, dude. I liked you. Just stop. You're not owed anything. You got kicked off a TV show. But Rick Devens, man, holy crap! It's like he's channeled me. The want to be Professor Chaos. I'm sick of Emily, but she's kind of in on it, in a fake I want to cause chaos way, and all her annoying stuff at Tribal Council. What she was whispering to people. But Rick Devens, dude, I'm rooting for him now. I'm always in Ozzy all the way. But Rick Devens, man, I would just love to see him just chaos his way to the end.
So here's the thing, right? And I know we always talk MVP, LVP. Devens is the obvious MVP.
Yeah, we got to disqualify him, right?
But I got to tell you something. I wanted to make this note to you. I actually, even before he, spoiler alert, successfully flips the coin and calls it correctly, he was my MVP of the episode before that. Because I thought at Tribal, when he was just I'm going to tell you the story. And I'm going to tell you the real. And we did this. And then me and Aubrey did this. And Steph tried this. And Jonathan said this. And he laid it all out. And the note I wrote was, Devens, the truth shall set you free. And that's exactly what happened. Because then Steph tried to be oh, no, that wasn't real. And Tiffany called her right away. Well, why would you do that if he wasn't, and caught Steph right away. And to your point about the chaos agent, for lack of a better term, they primed it that way in the open kind of montage that Devens was heck, I got nothing to lose. Let me be Dr. Chaos. And he did. And I like that as well. So I'm with you, right? And then as soon as it was who's going to flip the coin, you knew it was going to be Devens. I would want to be that guy too. I think he articulated it perfectly. Hey, a 50-50 shot is better than the 1-in-6 shot in the dark. I like how he was going to be a legend regardless of how the coin flip turned out, right? And he knows even if he got eliminated, guess what? He would have been on a Beast Games down the road. He would have something, right? So he knew that taking that shot was, to Rizzo's point, cinema and was going to be it. So he was my MVP for sure. And I agree with you. I don't think he's going to win, but I like seeing the chaos he initiates. And I think I wanted to make the point. He was my MVP, mostly even just because of the way he went at Tribal before the MrBeast thing happened.
Take a look at this, Dane, on the screen. For those of you who are listening and not watching, on the screen right now, we pulled up who will win Survivor 50.
Cirie all the way down, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like, Cirie's down to 6 cents. I got her, as
Aubrey
you can
back
see on
up.
the screen, I gotten her at 10. Aubrey's back up to 85. Joe's at 4. Well, this is percentage-wise versus cost. They usually run in tandem, but they're a little messy. Like, Joe's at 4%, but he got him at 5 cents. Jonathan, my LVP, by the way, we'll get into that in a minute, is 3%, 4 cents. Rizzo's up to 2. Earlier
Rizzo's
today,
down to 2. Rizzo
I'm sorry. Rizzo's down to. I think of everyone at 1% just being up. Ozzy was at 2 for a minute. I guess he's back down to 1, but you still got to pay 2 cents to get him. So again, as you can see on the screen, we're running even. Devens, though, man, like, I mean, right? $20 on Rick Devens.
To your point, he's not going to win.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, now all of a sudden, if he does get to the final 3, right? The idea that his cojones is what turned it from 1 million to 2 million.
Yep.
Might get him jury votes if he gets there.
I think so. And I think people just being like, yeah, this is like, and I keep going back to what Chrissy was saying. Like, this is just like, not that there are no stakes, because now there's, technically, but like, this is kind of like a redemption season where you can, like, you have scars and you can just heal and stuff like that. Which I liked, like, and that's how I've been watching this. And I'm like, so the people who are taking this too seriously are the ones who are turning me off big time over and over again as a TV show and even a little bit of strategy. And like, I think that's kind of why I'm going back to Jonathan, my LVP, who's just like, Rizzo said it brilliantly in Tribal, was kind of like, own it, dude. Like, we're playing Survivor. Like, Rick says he wanted to vote me. Like, that's a compliment. Like, of course, that's awesome. And like, everyone was dumping on poor Stephanie. Jonathan voted for Stephanie when the dust settled, which was kind of gross on his part. Like, man up, dude. He's playing such a weak game right now.
I think that's to your point, combining this idea that everyone wants to evolve as a player, right? Or heal their wounds or whatever the case may be. And I said this a few episodes ago, that Jonathan was viewed as just the burly, Amazonian challenge guy. And he wanted to evolve into that intellectual player. But then to your point about Rizzo, like, you're not going to con a con man. We're playing here. It's all out there, right? But I think that Jonathan thinks he is evolving into a strategic guy, but is doing it in an ineffective way by trying to be too secretive or too, like, he thinks he's better at this aspect than he is.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that part is exposed. So I think he's trying, but not. Whereas your boy Ozzy, on the other hand, is trying to evolve and add that intellectual strategic component to his game. And it's playing better, mostly because he's just tying himself to Cirie and Rizzo.
I don't like, and again, like, I'm sure people know things that we don't. And I like, I'm only going to deep dive so much because I've got other things to do.
Sure.
But like, Ozzy not going up and now Devens not going up. And like, he had immunity. He has an idol. He pulled a stunt that was pretty amazing. Like look,
Big plant at Tribal.
Yeah. Corny, maybe, but like, it worked.
He's got a resume.
It saved him. It got him to here, which got him there, which got him to the $2 million coin flip. That's what I'm saying. Like, and now I'm sure people will be gunning for him, but dude, he could just latch on with a couple people at this chaotic stage now and make a run. And like, why can't he go from 1% to 13%? Like, why is everyone so stuck on Aubrey winning this thing, man?
Yeah.
Like, still.
Gotta be insider, because to your point, when there are now other legitimate resumes building, right? If you think about it, Aubrey bottomed out at like, I think 70%, or right around 70, maybe even 68, 69, whatever.
Pull that right back up if you want.
Yeah, but the fact that as other players are building a resume, right, the line graph, what was the bottom of the line graph for Aubrey?
We'll just pull up Aubrey.
Yeah, what's the bottom right there?
Right, I guess when we started.
I mean, more recently. Keep going. Go. That next dip. Keep going.
This dip.
That dip. Yeah. What's the bottom of that?
68.9%.
There you go. So like I said, 68%.
Hold on. I need my old man readers. Sorry, Dane.
And the fact that as other people, to your point, are building resumes.
Yeah.
Whether it's Devens is a great example, right? The fact that she has gone up 15% or so does suggest that the insider trading is real, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah. Also, like, I would assume like a lot of the trading volume came in here. Like, and if you listen, like February 28th, when Aubrey shot up right into like 87% and then held steady up there and almost hit 90 and then dipped to 82.
So
like
wait,
if you bought here in these 2.5 months, you're not selling at a loss because there's, why? Right? Like,
yeah, but that shoot up that you're talking about, that's right when the show premiered.
That's what I'm saying.
The volume of this market exploded, and so many people were like, oh, Aubrey's in the 70s? That's insider trading. Let me ride on. And I bet that represents a big jump there as people started to see this market as the show or the season premiered, right? So I think that's the explanation for that part. But I do think you're right. We were starting to see a bunch of people, Cirie, but even a bunch of other people popped up to like around 5%. Joe, Jonathan, Rizzo, and that's all kind of gone down too. And Aubrey's claimed all of it. But in the actual like non-insider trading of it all, we're down to 9. Okay? We're down to 9. And 2 things. 1, we still have Tiff, Emily, Cirie, and Rizzo. And then the no Aubrey. We've got 4 of the 9, and then the catch-all with no Aubrey. So, like, if you have been with us at the Antenna since that first episode where we made our card, you're still kind of live, right?
But the problem is nothing's moved. This is what's driving me crazy. Is like,
that's fair.
We've been right. We're getting closer and closer to a final 3, which will most likely be live, and nobody knows the outcome of. And maybe you kind of know the tendencies of the jurors. And it's a $20 million market, so it's not like D is in the Ponderosa and knows it all and dumped like. Even if she dumped $1 million, there's a max on whatever. But I mean, like, even she told her friends and family and everybody, like, it's going to be Aubrey. I could feel it. Like, the house was feeling Aubrey, it's still like, it's not enough to make intent. You know, like, it's just like the blind following the blind to a degree.
We thought we'd be at cash out territory by now, down to.
Yeah, man, of course. Everything looks great.
And like, we were right. We were right to have, if you rewind the tape, when we put Emily at 1%, Tiff at 1%, right? Our thoughts when there were like 23 people left, was when we get to 9, they'll obviously all be 8 to 10%. And that would represent a profitable opportunity. And because of this insider knowledge and Aubrey still being up there, it just hasn't happened. The other thing I want to say, though, real quick, now that we're down to 9, I think there was a big shift. We've been talking about, and that term all season about like the middle players.
Yep.
I think that's getting more defined now as well. I still see, and remember, we're at 9. I still see Cirie, Ozzy, Rizzo, right?
Yep.
But what I think now is that Devens, Emily, and Aubrey are kind of together as a middle on some level, and then Jonathan, Joe, and who else is left?
Can't be anyone important, right?
I guess that's fair. But whoever the 9th is that I'm not thinking of right now. Let's look at the markets. Look at the market.
I'm on it. There's Ozzy, Rick.
No, so I'm saying Ozzy, Cirie, and Rizzo are a 3. I'm saying Devens, Emily, Aubrey. And then I'm saying Joe, Jonathan, and who?
Joe, Jonathan. Let's see. Well, Tiff.
Oh, Tiff.
You got to put Tiff with Ozzy. Yeah.
So that's 4. I think that's 4. Then I think Devens, Aubrey, Emily is 3. Yeah. And then I think Joe and Jonathan are floating.
Like, they're the middle, man. Like, all this talk about the middle. Now you're the middle. You like, good job. You've run yourself into the middle.
But what could happen is, and this is the path for Aubrey to win, Devens, Aubrey, and Emily identify that other 3 is tight.
Yep. They grab the other
4,
2.
That 4 with Tiff is tight. They grab Joe and Jonathan, and then that's 5 over 4.
But that should mean, if you follow that logic, and if that's right, because like everyone else is kind of floating up in that 2 to 4 set, like, well, Rizzo's up there too, I guess. Devens should be riding up with them to at least like 3 cents, dude.
No,
right? True. Like, I mean, like, did you think it was smart he came clean?
Yes.
I think it was. I think it was.
Yes. Because again, to that point about Rizzo and what we said about Jonathan, you can't BS the BSers in this. These are all conniving, smart players.
Yeah.
And we have seen, I think the inverse of this was when Stephanie tried to tell Cirie that this was this other plan. And Cirie was like, I can tell you're awkward about it. I can tell you're not making eye contact about it. Right. So like, if you're not coming clean and just giving the real, you get snuffed out. And so I do think it was smart that Devens at the beginning of the episode came clean about it being fake. And he did it again at Tribal and came clean. And you can see afterwards, or like when it was live even, that Devens went to Cirie. He was like, I was telling the truth, by the way. And Cirie was like, yeah, I know. You know, like the truth, ironically, is smart gameplay, I think, this season.
Yeah. I mean, I keep going back to Emily, right, who has gotten super annoying to me now. And maybe she's just getting bad at it. But like every time like someone's like, you know, tells a joke, it goes to Emily and she rolls her eyes. Or like in Tribal Council, if someone's like, you know, and it was me, and like, oh, it's Emily's face, like, you know, shocked. I wonder, like, we're praising Rick for like just exposing everything and everybody. I know Emily's is a little different. It's like she can't help herself from telling people things, but it did get her to where she is now. And it does kind of establish that like Emily's not lying to people. She just can't help herself from telling the truth. And so while you can't confide in her, you can kind of keep her around to, you know, you talk to her long enough, she'll reveal something, you know?
But Emily's done it in a kind of go around one by one and behind people's back way. Devens does it in an unabashed, here's what it is kind of way, which I think gains more favor if we're talking about juries down the road. But this is the first time when we just worked out those permutations of 9. And you're right. I think Tiff is down with Cirie, Rizzo, Ozzy. I think that's a 4.
Yeah.
But if the other 5 realize that, I think that's the first time that kind of signals the Cirie alliance being in trouble. And that would be our Cirie position and our Rizzo position and our Tiff position.
Yeah.
They could get picked off.
You know, someone plays a timely idol and everyone knows who has an idol now, of course. Like everyone knows who has every advantage, except I think for Cirie's extra vote. I don't think, right? Like
Rizzo knows. Rizzo and Ozzy know.
Right, but like not everything else, everybody knows. You know what I mean? Like, but I think Cirie, like they've kept it in that tight little circle. I don't think other people know.
That's fair.
Which again, like why Cirie, like I texted you like Cirie's down. The running texts that I have to Dane are like, hey, Cirie's down to 8%. Hey, Cirie's down to 5% today. Right. And then like she bounced back a little bit, but like, I don't know. I don't like it.
So let me ask you something. You see the line graphs of all of them, and we're lamenting the idea.
You want to pull it back up? I'll pull it back up, Dane.
Well, you can, but this is going to be me asking you to then pull 2 things up. So I don't know if it's going to work. But
never mind.
My question is, we're lamenting the idea that it hasn't moved up yet for our 1%ers, right? The cash out opportunity we thought happened has not happened.
Right.
Is there a universe where we can start to leverage the who will get eliminated next episode as the hedge?
Maybe. But I mean, like, the problem is that by the time it's even up, the person who's going to get eliminated is at 90%, you know? And one time it flipped, and it flipped the day of when obviously
what I'm saying
saw it.
Is like, let's say we have, let's use the Tiff, Rizzo, Cirie as a case study.
Yeah.
If any of those win,
yeah,
we're home free. We made bank, right?
Right.
So does it start to make sense? Like what? There's only like 4 episodes left?
Yeah.
Until the finale?
Right.
Does it make sense to bet? Yes. Rizzo gets eliminated next week.
But because would you jump in at 90% though on like, you know?
No, what I'm saying is, I guess, but we have 3 positions, right? You know, we have all of them. Even if one of them is the 90% going to get eliminated episode 10 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That means 2 of the others are at 1%. So let's say the insiders say it's going to be Rizzo next week.
Right.
What we could do is bet yes on Tiff, yes on
I see
Cirie,
what you're saying. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if we lose that, c'est la vie, because it means our real positions are 1 episode closer to the finale.
We're hedging.
And we only have to do that like 2 or 3 episodes. And so it's not like we've got Rizzo at like 27-1. We've got Tiff at 93-1, right?
Yeah.
So on Tiff, if we hit and it's 93-1, doesn't it make sense to throw some on Tiff at 2% to get eliminated every single week?
So I thought you were going to go the other way and be like, should we start buying everyone else at 1 cent? And just like, and we have the no Aubrey. If we start banging out everybody else, like the other ones who are left,
like Joe, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know they're 4 cents, but whatever. Like the whole argument with Cirie when we got her at 10 cents or whatever it was like 10 cents is still 10-1. You know what I mean? Like that's still like my $10 will make me 100, you know? And as you can see from the screenshots, I'm constantly moving my stuff around. So I have 17 cents in free cash and I'll just sell whatever to bring something back in. It's all it's futures money, but like, you know, some of these start hitting and it, like we're in good shape.
I think
take it out and spend it on something foolish.
What do we need to do to technically, like, we've got 4 of the 9 already.
And look, we should, by the way, if you're listening to this, and you're new to this, you're just stumbling upon it. Dane and I have been in the fantasy and betting industry for like a combined 40 years. So like we understand like the hedging. We're not like, you know, we understand the hedge. The question is, what do we do with a survivor futures hedge? And is it worth it?
Yeah. And so I guess we've already got Tiff, Emily, Cirie, Rizzo.
Right.
We can't touch Aubrey. Like that's
Devens
our
whammy. Yeah.
So the question is, Devens, Joe, Jonathan.
Yep. Let's bring it up. Yeah. Right.
Devens, Joe, Jonathan. What if we got all of them right now?
That's what you're right. That's what I thought you were going with. Bink. All right. So Devens, if we put 5 on
1%, that 467 makes us profitable.
Right. Yeah, I think so. Joe, we put our 5 on him. It's $100.
Makes us profitable overall.
Jonathan, we put our 5 on him.
Makes us profitable overall.
Yeah. And
does that truly cover the board?
Have. But I mean, we can still just go back with Rizzo, get some more Rizzo.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not. We were looking at it wrong in terms of the cash out, but maybe now because we technically do have positions on 50% of the remaining cast.
Right.
Maybe it's just hedging on the rest and locking in profit.
I think we learned, right? Like this is new for everybody in a way. We know there are insiders. We know there's spoilers. We thought, like you said, we'd be able to cash out at this point because as people make it closer to the end, you know, their line goes up, and that hasn't happened. It has with like a couple blips. Like in the case, Cirie has been kind of its own thing, her own thing. I don't know, its own thing. I'm talking about the line.
It's been the biggest fluctuation with Cirie for sure.
Yeah. But like, so she's kind of just like an aberration in a way, like in terms of this market. Whereas everyone else is kind of like, you know, Joe has been steady 3-4 cents. Jonathan's been 2-3 cents. Rizzo got a little bump, 3 weeks ago where he came up out of the 1 cent area. Ozzy was at 2 cents for a little while. He still is 2 cents, but he's 1%. But like, yeah, I think what we've learned is like, this is a horse race. Right. And not so much a stock market. And so like, parimutually, like the odds are going to change a little bit as we go along, but like we might as well go all in on these 1 cents. And then
in this way,
Aubrey loses. The only way we're screwed is if Aubrey loses.
No, the only way we're screwed is if Aubrey wins.
Aubrey wins. But like
we can in essence cover the field and ensure profit. And again, you could be listening and watching this show for the entertainment value or the strategic value as per Kalshi, right? And we're trying to toggle both, and hopefully you think we're doing a good job. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, drop a comment to tell us about it. But from the strategic side, I think we are at the point where we could cover the board so that Aubrey truly winning is our only whammy.
And it's crazy because, Aubrey seems like a nice person in real life. Like, sure, I'd be happy for her if she won, as a human being. But we're completely and totally against her if we do this.
Right.
Yeah. On several levels. I mean, like we have no Aubrey, which, covers just Aubrey losing. These other 1 cent things, like if Aubrey loses and Rizzo wins,
bang, bang.
There we go. We're going out drinking.
We're going Sizzler, right? Yeah. So I guess my question is, have we crossed that threshold or should we wait like one more week?
No, I think we've learned, you know what, Dane, and I think we've been smart and we haven't touched the weekly ones because the weekly ones, that's just a fool's errand unless because even if even if someone tells me on like, Monday, hey dude, Rizzo's getting eliminated this week. I'm like, oh well, thanks. Like it's 90%. You've told me nothing. It's like go stand in this giant line here where you can't. You're gonna only the first 100 people get it. And you're number 120. Like thanks. So like that's worthless. But I think like as we've gone along, we've kind of just organically learned like these lines aren't moving. Weirdly, I'm seeing the same thing with American Idol, which is a totally different. I just got curious and dipped into that.
Right. That's a different beast altogether.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a favorite. You can't spoil it. I mean, you can, but the way they do voting this year, and sorry for this quick aside, but it is kind of like relevant here in a way. Like Survivor, was done a year and a half ago, right?
Pre-recorded.
Was it June 2020? Yeah. And so like people know, like whatever, things get out. American Idol, they changed their voting where it's not like call in anymore. And then we're going to eliminate someone on the second show this week. There's only one show every week now.
Right.
And the voting is done like you comment their name on Facebook or Instagram, or I think TikTok. You can call a number, you can text the number, but by the end of the episode is when they get eliminated. So like you got to start, like if you like the woman who's singing last,
right,
you got to start hammering the Facebook page.
Yeah.
At like 8:01.
Like it's a Masked Singer too, I think.
But it doesn't make sense. Like you're voting for someone who you haven't heard sing yet just because you're their fan. And so this Hannah Harper, is like running laps around people because she has 300,000 Instagram followers. And she, everyone's voting for her, like no matter what she sings, no matter what she does.
She's going to get the votes, right? She's got that base of subscribers almost.
Yeah, which
like
I mean, like, she's still at 50%. Right. And I think maybe it's almost like the live final idea. Like, like those rules aren't going to apply when you get to the final 2 or 3, however many. Yeah. But here it's still like there are going to be 3 people live in a final. And you got to think Aubrey's so high because someone is out there being like Ponderosa loved Aubrey. So,
which makes me think 2 things, Nando. One, with only like 4 episodes left of Survivor, we got to figure out what show we're following this summer.
Yeah, I'm not a Top Chef guy, but I think Top Chef lines up a little.
Maybe. And 2, makes me think that you and I and some other oracles maybe should do a live stream for the live Survivor.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh, yeah, another yes.
To go up and down with these folks. So that's one thing. I have one other question for you before we wrap up. You have taken a position on things like the Jimmy Fallon and the Billie Eilish and the Zac Brown Band, right? How did you feel about MrBeast as a celebrity injection into the show, and B, the auction, which is like a tried and true Survivor thing? That's a twist. I think it injects some strategy, but is also a way to lengthen the show, for lack of a better term.
Auction's good TV. I don't, how I have a tendency to fast forward through the boring stuff.
I fast forwarded the Letters from Home, but not the auction.
Oh, did I? Yeah, get out. Come on, man. Like I fast forwarded so much through the Letters from Home that I didn't need, like, I'm watching Devens read something like, oh, did he get a clue? I'm like, oh no, Letter from Home. Like let's just keep, I was right. So yeah, here's my thing, and like, get to know me better. I immediately, like, my instinct is like, oh, influencer. And this go back, 3-4 years, MrBeast, whoever this guy is, MrBeast Burger in the American Dream Mall,
right.
Like, who is this? I don't know. I hate him. He's an influencer.
You're going to say you did a 180 on him too, didn't you?
Yeah, I think, you know what, man, like, and it was, what it is? It's like the jobs that we have, and, you got like a 3,000 person YouTube page. He said something, like, I started watching his videos because, like, this guy's figured out YouTube, and like the algorithm's always so screwy and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, at one point, at a certain point, you've got to stop blaming the algorithm. And I caught that. And I'm like,
I've seen him say that too. You just got to put out good stuff. Like, make every video better than the last.
That's it. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I do like this guy. And, I didn't, go ahead.
There's been a few times where I've seen him do like actual, like, charitable good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just some asshole. There's a universe where he's just MrBeast and blah, blah, blah and all that. But he has, like, I've seen him donate $1 million to good causes. I've seen him do stuff like that, which makes me think that, we don't know these people, right? Behind the camera, behind whatever. But makes me think at least, like, he's not just some complete, VC crypto bro scumbag.
Yeah, right. Unless he's doing that all, unless he's
that belt too.
I will say this. I'm tired. Like, and I'm sorry it had to be MrBeast at this point because I did like the idea of the coin flip. Like, I loved it. I loved the I don't know, maybe he came up with it, whoever did. I thought it was brilliant, and I think the twists associated with it were great. It was like a fair win or lose proposition. But like, I just like, it would have been cool if it was just the Billie Eilish idol this year. Like, this would have been the season with the Billie Eilish idol. And, you know, like 51 would have been the year with the MrBeast twist. Right. And 52, like, I can't stand Jimmy Fallon, but like the Jimmy Fallon, whatever.
Just one part, yeah.
There's too much, man. Like, it's just like, it's become the identity. That and Jeff again, like, Jeffing. Like, I get it, man. He's been the host forever. Maybe it is his show at this point, but like, you know, like Bob Barker used to just give you that spay your pets at the end, spay or neuter your pets at the end. That was it, like really, and I'm out. It's almost like stopping The Price is Right for Bob Barker to opine on the wheel and its significance, you know, throughout the years of doing Price is Right, and, you know, stopping every game just to like try this faux poetry, you know, on like what the game means to him.
Ringo's place in society.
Yeah, dude. Like, he's like, okay, spin the wheel. Let's go. 90 cents. Thank you. Next. And like, Jeff isn't doing that anymore. He's just like put himself too much in the fabric of the show, and it's getting annoying.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, he is the star of the show, though, right?
He's the host. He's the host of the show.
But if you, of 50 seasons, right? Like, he is the brand. He is the brand.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Bob Barker, Pat Sajak.
Alex Trebek. Yeah.
They never did it. It was Alex Trebek. Hold on. Before we get to the $600 question, I want to talk about how you, Frankie, you know, and it's just,
I hear that.
I don't know, man. That. And I, like, he seems, again, like a great guy. And I've loved him every year.
Lawn out of you, but I hear it.
I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I'm watching it and I've watched enough to know, like, this is kind of annoying now. And this could have been, I understand you got to make it 2 hours because you're selling ads, but like, it could have been an hour-long show.
Yeah.
How about you? Are you MrBeast?
Listen, I've seen Beast games and I like the extreme of it's gameplay. We talk about the art of war, the strategy, the gameplay, the risk tolerance, right?
Yes.
And that is to the extreme with MrBeast and Beast games. So I'm not mad at that. I got to tell you the truth. To your point about how they drew out the MrBeast so much, they cut to commercial right after being like, and the twist is, right?
Yeah, right.
And in Tribal, they talked so much about how, or Jeff did so much about how just MrBeast's presence sent everybody into array. I thought there was a chance that the thing was going to be a bluff and nothing.
Oh, nothing inside the suitcase.
Right. I thought there was a chance that it was like, and we find out what it is, and it's not a damn thing. Let's vote, you know?
Yep.
That it was a big bluff, which also would have been on brand for MrBeast, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, that's part of why I didn't want you to spoil it for me. Because in my mind, I was like, you know what? There is a non-zero chance that this is a bluff. Especially because I thought they were playing it up that way with how just the threat of it changed behavior. And it would have been cool for them to be like, see, y'all got fooled. It's nothing. Let's vote.
Yep. I could have seen that. And I was also curious that I had my finger on the fast forward button ready to go as the coin flipped in the air.
Yeah.
And like, what is it? Oh, and Emily's face agape, and then like commercial. And they were just like, oh, it's heads. So like, okay, cool. Like, all right. That could have been another shot, but thank you for not doing that, I guess. Shout out Survivor for not going to commercial at the coin flip. But anyway, yeah.
All right, so if you want to cover the board, you can do so. Once again, the 7 oracles bringing you profit, unless, of course, Aubrey does, in fact, win. But for more of that, go on over to the7oracles.com, sign up for the free newsletter. You can see more stuff from Nando, from myself, from our guy, Coach Gene, from Chris Manzo, and all the tools that are out there to really help you profit in these markets. That's what we're here for. Hopefully you're getting on the gravy train.
Get excited. This show is, and I wouldn't say screeching to a halt, charging through a wall with just a few episodes left. But maybe we'll do a fun live final, Dane. That was a good idea. Live final.
It's a show about shows. It's not a show about Survivor. The Antenna is a show about shows. And
I meant, sorry, this show, Survivor, is screeching to a halt.
Yes. But we'll keep it going here on the Antenna.
Yeah, we just got to pick a new show. Let us know if you got some ideas for the next shows that are coming
up. Hit us up in the comments.
Big Brother, I don't know if we're Big Brother kind of guy. Big Brother's a commitment. Big Brother's like 3 days a week.
Yeah, I'm not into that
Big Brother, yeah.
Maybe we can get into the romance bachelorette angle or whatever. Well, we have to see what's actually on this summer.
Yeah, let's check. All right, we'll check the TV guide and we'll get back.
We gotta, yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you all for joining us. We hope this was helpful and enjoyable. Looks like we're going $5 on everyone and then hoping Aubrey loses. Sorry, Aubrey Bracco.
Sorry, Aubrey.
You know, it just is what it is. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.
The tribe has spoken.